Alright, hey, what's up? Charles Lin here. I'm doing a tutorial with the answers for the reading part of our inheritance quiz. Let's get started. To kind of get an idea of what we're looking for, let's quickly scan the code. So here we have the parent object, parent class, which is the parent object. Then down below we have the child class. This extends the parent, so we have inheritance already right here. And then we have a grandchild class which extends this child class. So total we have three things to worry about: the child, or the parent, the child of the parent, and the child of the child, which is grandchild. So let's head over to the main method. Right over here we see we have four objects: P1, C1, C2, and GC1. So we have P1 of data type parent, and C1 and C2 are both child objects. GC1 is of the grandchild object. And down below we have an array that's named family of data type parent. So we see the values, we see these objects P1, C1, C2, and GC1. These objects are getting entered into the family array, and so despite being a data type parent, it is possible for child and grandchild. This is an example of polymorphism, and this will come up during our later questions. So let's get started. So system.out.println p1.method1. This object p1, we have parameters 2 and 5. So 2 and 5 right here, field 1 and field 2. So this returns field 1 plus field 2. So we have 7. Simple enough. We have p1.method3. So we already established that method 1 of object p1 equals 7, and method 2 simply returns method 1 again. So 7 plus 7 equals 14. And system.out.println c1.method1. So this is the child object c1. So right over here we see we do not have a method 1, so we must go up to the parent class. And so as we see, the parameters are 4, 6, and 8. We will use these. So field 1 and field 2 are equal to 4 and 6. This gives us 10. But wait, you're asking, there's field 1 right here equals to value 3, 8. But the thing is, when we call the method 1, it acts, because it returns private fields, it returns the fields of the object parent, because in the constructor it constructs the parent object right here using 4 and 6. So instead we use field 1 and field 2 of here, not the field 1 of here. So it's kind of confusing, but we can essentially disregard this field 1. We can just consider it another field altogether, because these are not related, only in name. And so c1.method3, here we see that method 3 returns method 1 plus method 2. We have already established that method 1 of object c1 returns 10, so we can substitute 10 right here. Method 2 returns another 10 plus field 1. This time this returns 8 because it is calling field 1 of the child c1 object. So 10 plus 10 plus 8 will give us the result 28. So GC1, we've moved on to the grandchild object, method 1. Again, down here we do not have a method 1 object, so we gotta head on up to the method 1 of the parent. And so this returns field 1 plus field 2. Over here we see 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just write that real quick. 1, 2, 3, and 4. For the same reason above, because this creates a constructor of a child which creates a constructor of the parent, and method 1 is of this parent class, we set field 1 and field 2 equal to 1 and 2 instead of field 1 equal to 4. This field 1 is of the grandchild GC1 object, and yes, this super constructor, it creates more instances of these parent classes, the child and the class parent. And so this goes all the way back up. So field 1 will be equal to 1, not equal to 4, as it is said here. Like before, we can disregard this field 1 count it as another field completely. So method 1, because it's field 1 plus field 2, this will give us 1 plus 2, and that will give us 3. And so down here, gc1.method 4, we do have a method 4 up here in the grandchild class, gc1 object. And so return method 1, we established that method 1 will give us 3. So 3 plus method 2 will give us this field 1 of the gc1 object, field 1 plus 1, so 4 plus 1 will become 5. So method 2, we can substitute 5 for that. And method 3, we see that there is not a method 3 over here, and we gotta come back on up to the child class. So we do have a method 3, I'll cross that out a bit. Return method 1 plus method 2. We've established that method 1 does give us 3, so again, we'll have another 3 right here. And we have a method 2. But method 2, we do not call this method 2. This method 2, because it is of grandchild object, we will pop back down to method 2 again, which will give us 5. So 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5 will give us the result of 16. For parent X family, this is a for each loop. It will run through each of the objects in the array family of data type parent. So we will see x.method 1. So basically it is asking us to call method 1 of every of the objects P1, C1, C2, and GC1. Over here, so x.method 1. The first one is P1. We've already established that P1.method 1 is equal to 7. So that is just a 7 right there. And then we will get a 10 for here because of the C1.method 1. We just put that in. Here, method 1 of object C2, we got to use 8, 9, and 10. So let me just cross these out right here. Wait, what was it? 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. Okay. 8, 9, and 10. And so, method 1, it returns field 1 plus field 2, 8 plus 9. This will give us 17. And so, we already did method 1, GC1. That'll just give us a 3 right here. So this is the answer. 7, 10, 17, 3. Because this gives us a colon every single time that we run the loop. And we have another loop here, for each, again. So basically we run method 3 of all the objects in order. So method 3, we've established that P1.method 3 is equal to 14. We can plug this in right here. And we've done a method 3 on C1, 28, so we can put that in over here. Now we do method 3 of object C2 because that is next in line. So C2, 8, 9, and 10. Method 3, it is right here, returns method 1 plus method 2. Wait, so method 1 plus method 2. And so that will give us 17 for method 1. We already established that earlier, 17 right here. And then method 2 returns method 1 again, plus the field 1. So field 1 is 10, and then plus 17 again. That will give us 17 plus 17 equals 34, plus 10 in the middle equals 44. 44. And then method 3 of object GC1, 1, 2, 3, 4. We do not have method 3, so we gotta pop back up here to the child class, this child class. And so method 3 returns method 1 plus method 2. So we've already seen that GC1.method 1 is equal to 3. So we will get a 3 plus method 2, and we have method 2 down here. 3 plus 5. So 3 plus 5 will give us 8. And so system.out.println family3.method 1. So this is simply GC1 1 because this is the third object in the family array. And so we've already seen that and above, GC1.method 1, that will give us 3. That's the answer here. And over here we have GC1 again, family3 dot method 4. But this is a little different because of the polymorphism. This is a parent data type, and this supposedly it could work because yes, GC1 does have a method 4, but however, because it is of data type parent, there is no method 4 in this parent class, and so as a result it will crash in compilation, and that will give us an error. Okay, and so this is the end of the reading section of the inheritance quiz.